All right. So the first thing we don't have to tape today. And the reason we don't have to tape today is because we are not doing really a really wet on wet background today. So we only tape it when we need a wet on wet background. Does that make sense? Okay. Because then your page starts buckling if it's very wet, and then we need something to hold it down. This, we are going to be more working, I believe, dry brush. So if you want to tape it down, you can, but you're not forced to. All right. So I apologize if my words are a little tough today. My daughter decides not to sleep for the last 3 days, so here I am. I might take you up on that offer. Horizontal today. So yes, we are working horizontal. The long edge is top to down, also known as portrait mode. There you go. We're nice and straight. Additionally, since I haven't been sleeping well, my immune system's kind of shot, so I have a mask because I feel something in my throat when I come up to you guys. Okay, if I'm not wearing it, because I'm trying to like make it so everyone can hear me. If I'm not wearing it, please remind me. Welcome, darling. Do you need anything, or are you good? You have no pencil. Okay. What is your name, hon?
Lenny.
Lenny. Thank you. For me?
Yeah, for your.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I love this. Oh, I actually love this. Thank you. Ooh, thank you so much. Okay, you got everything you need? Yes. Yep. Okay. Is this your first time in the class?
No.
Okay. Were you here last week?
Yes, I was.
I apologize for not remembering your name.
It's okay.
Lenny. Okay. All right. So the first thing we are going to need is our pencils. Hello, welcome. Oh, no, that's Zelda's coat. Or I'm sorry, not Zelda. That's yeah, that's Iris's coat. If you want to sit here, let me just move this coat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Whoops, sorry, I dropped the cane. You will also need cups. Let me grab you cups real quick. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Gina.
Gina. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Give me a few classes to remember that name. I'm Julie. Yes. Sorry, I struggle with names. Oh, that's okay. Okay. So let's begin. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to draw the watermelon, like the whole watermelon that's in the back, because it is the largest thing. It will give us the best idea of like the proportions. We could definitely use it to create the proportions for the other ones. You can, but a watermelon is not perfectly round. But you can use your cup if you want. So when I do it, I want to make my watermelon. I'm going to first put down guidelines on my paper to make sure that it doesn't get too close to the edge. So my first guideline is I want it to be about 1 inch away from the right-hand side. So I'm just putting down like a mark. And then I want to make it about 2 inches from the top. Actually like 1 inch from the top. Yeah, let's do 1 inch from the top. Yeah, roughly. Just eyeball it if you want. And then from the side, let's make it a little bit farther in, so let's put like 2 inches. So now I have like a really nice square kind of formed, and we're going to draw our circle, our oblong circle. That's the nice thing about watermelons is they're kind of like squished. So if your circle doesn't end up perfect, excellent. It's going to be way more realistic. So then, yeah, you were just going to create kind of like a squished circle inside of that. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let me play with the contrast a bit. Hi. Yep. There we go.
Oh, that's it.
Well, I'm just, there you go. You guys can still see this?
Too big, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but you can still do it. And then I'm going to press harder. So you guys should be pressing really, really light. I'm going to press hard so that you guys can like see it. And then right before I'm finished, right before I start adding paint, I'm going to lift it all up. Well, it's squished, right? So you have to kind of think about how it's going to be like flat near the bottom. And you don't even need to do the bottom layer if you don't want to. And then since this is like the front, I'm going to do another circle inside for my own guidance. It won't make sense to you guys. If it does, amazing. If not, don't worry about it. It's more for later on. So I'm doing, actually, instead of that, let's just put, this is going to be the middle, the end of our watermelon. So which means that all of these stripes are going to come into that middle point. Do you have all the materials you need? You have nothing. Okay, perfect. There you go. This, and I'll give you this one, and I'll go use one of my own personal ones. Absolutely. You're very welcome. Okay. Okay. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is the second watermelon slice. So the one that's behind the front one. So that one, the edge comes about right here. This is where like that corner edge comes from, because I'm looking at this negative space, right? I'm looking at this shape that is created within the watermelon. Does that make sense? Okay, and I'm trying to replicate that. So it comes down about like that, and then it cuts over this middle part. It comes out about right there. So we have one straight line that kind of goes through. Okay, you guys can see it, perfect. And then it's going to come down, and then we are going to create a smiley face that is attached to these two ends, okay? So we're creating a super fun smiley face. Can everyone hear me okay with the microphone? Perfect. Okay, so we have our really fun smiley face created. So then for the front one, for the front watermelon, I'm looking at how far away this point is from here and how far away it is from this side. So this is how I'm building out. So I'm using the shapes that I've already created to figure out where my new shapes are in order to get the proportions and the perspective correct. Is that making sense? Okay, I'm kind of breaking down like my artist non-linear thought pattern. So it's taken me a bit to figure out how to word this, but I think I finally have kind of figured it out. So if I'm looking at that, this guy, so if I go down this watermelon, right? It's about right here, and I kind of think about how far away it is from here. So I'm gonna go right here. And then on the other side, I am looking at where this point is, and I'm kind of looking at how far away it is, and then how far from the top it is. Does that make sense? So again, and I'm going to be doing this every single class. And if it doesn't make sense today, hopefully by week 8, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. Like, even if it makes this much sense, that's progress. And I apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. Sometimes if you guys get to a point where you're uncomfortable and your brain hurts from thinking too hard, and it feels like you're like pushing through, like whenever, like it feels like you're trying to push through a wall and it's exhausting and you're uncomfortable with it, that is where learning happens. That is a sign that you are learning. So with enough practice, you will build up that resilience to be able to sit comfortably within that uncomfortable learning stage. All right. So if you get there today, congratulations. It means you have learned something. It means you have created new pathways in your brain. New synapses lines are forming, and that takes work. So if you get tired later today, be gracious with yourself, because you did a hard work. Okay. We're exercising our brains here. All right, so if I take that look, I'm going to put this guy about right here, which actually, yeah, this is where I'm going to put the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to do another smiley face between those two sides. Okay. So then from there, I'm going to start, this is getting really messy. Also, I'm going to zoom in. Okay. This is getting really messy, so I'm going to start erasing some of the lines that we don't need, and then I'm going to continue. So the lines that we don't need is this back watermelon, the circular hole one. We don't need any of those lines that are going behind the watermelon. So I'm going to erase those. Nope, don't need this one. Okay. And then we don't really, we don't need this one right in here either. Okay. So now this is a little cleaner. All right. So the next thing that we're gonna do is, you see how this kind of comes up and this is the front? So the perspective changes a bit here. We're seeing the front of the watermelon rind, and then it's going to be tucked underneath. So in order to create that illusion, we are going to, I'm just going to create like a little bit of a notch right there. So I did a little bit of a notch inwards, and then I'm bringing that down. Okay. So like this is the shape that we are looking for. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry, I'm going to come around and help and check out all of yours before we start painting. And then the last thing that we are going to do before is we are going to take over here, because it looks like there are some chunks bitten out of this watermelon. So we are going to go down and we're going to do a little bit of a circle to go up as well. Right there. And then that's it. That's all that we have to draw. And now I'm going to walk around and check everybody's. Yeah, good job. Yeah, you did all right.
It's small, but it's okay.
You did a good job. Well done. Nice. So we just need that front part, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to
Okay.
just a little bit.
Oh, because I didn't see.
Yeah. And see how that looks like the front now?
I did it here too.
You can if you want to. Great job, guys. Amazing. And then if you want to, it might make it a little easier. You can add this secondary line right here as well. Yeah, see how there's like a very big distinction between the... You can't hear? Okay. Leia, I apologize. Once we begin painting, can we start talking? Sorry, I apologize. Okay, so if you want to, you can also add a secondary line where this rind is, because it's very distinctive, right? So that's just tracing a little bit the first lines you created. Yeah, so I can show you guys real quickly before I start walking around. So I'm going to take this and just bring it down like that. Bring it down like that. And then like that. And that's it. Okay, now I'm gonna start walking around.
I need help, I think.
Do you? Because it looks good. You did a good job.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you did a good job. I see it. Like, I can see the potential in it, and you're good. You're gonna be jumping off on a really good, strong foot right there. Yeah, you just need to add the secondary lines. Ooh, nice. Yes, I like that. Nicely done, Zelda. But you're doing a good job.
I'm trying to do it.
Okay, I got, yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, you got it. Nice. Okay, I'll come back to you, Audrey. No, take your time. That is not by any means a criticism.
I don't like them.
No?
I just don't like, I don't like drawing fruit.
I get it.
It's just,
So
there's something wrong with this.
yes. Okay, do you want help? Do you want me to touch it for you? Okay, cool. I love this lip color. I really want this lip color. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it down a bit more, right? And then it's gonna go up. And then this front part is gonna come down.
Oh, that's
Just
where
like
yeah,
that.
I did, yeah.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that makes a
Okay.
lot of sense.
So I will let you erase the image, the parts of it that you don't need. Lenny, and then Gina. Gina, okay. Nice, looks good. You just need to erase this line right here.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
This bottom one doesn't look like, whole thing doesn't look like.
That looks good to me. We just need to fix the front perspective a bit. So let's go here. And then that's gonna come out right like that.
That's the rind?
No, that's the front.
No, I'm a lefty, so. Okay.
There you go.
What about this part? Take my fill.
That looks good.
No, this one looks good. Second one.
No, this looks good because we're going to have like chunks bitten in out of it. So it looks good.
So I leave it?
Yeah, I would leave it. Nice, Leia. That looks great. How do you guys feel about it?
Hi.
Hello. Yep, beautiful.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Beautiful. We're just missing the front rind a bit.
Okay, I thought that was.
So what I would do is I would bring it down a little bit. And just like that. That's it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just remove this line.
Incredible. I love how big it is. It's incredible. I'm also a fan. Beautiful. Well done. No, I would leave that. We're just it's really near the top. So but we are going to be adding that like juice on the bottom, and then whatever is not, and if you don't like the size of your paper, just cut your paper off wherever you don't like it. I do that all the time. Okay, so we all have really nice paintings. I've double checked, they're all real good. So now what I'm going to do, and some of you will have to do it as well, is because watercolor is a transparent medium and we are not really working dark today, you're going to be able to see the graphite lines through your painting. So we are going to have to take off about like Gina, you were really heavy-handed and that's perfectly okay, but you're going to have to take off about like 80% of that graphite that you put down. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around and just lightly pull up that graphite. What was that? Oh, I can put some music on. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna continue erasing this. Especially these big dots are not needed. So I'm making sure to like really get those. And you want it so that it's more of an outline more than anything. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Don't worry, because once I add the color, you'll be able to see it again. Promise. Okay. Let me take a drink. Okay, so let us create our first color, which is going to be the watermelon rind green. Not the rind, sorry, the skin. Watermelon skin green, okay? So what we're gonna do, first thing is, move this over there. You can go there. We are going to wet our medium brush. Because whenever I mix color, I like to use the medium brush. It picks up more color. Do you want a fatter one? Okay. No worries. You can use that one too. Your choice. All right, so I've wet it, and then I'm going to grab my sap green, and I'm going to put him in his own little bedroom thing. You have sap green, yes you do. Yep, everyone has a green. You only have one green. It is way more than you think it is. Okay, so I have quite a bit of it. Oh, I didn't say blue. So we're doing green, and then we are going to add a little bit of yellow. Okay, so this is going to be the base color. So I'm picking up my cadmium yellow, which is the sunshine yellow, the bright one, not the yellow ochre, which is mustard yellow. So I'm picking up a little bit of the sunshine yellow, which is called cadmium yellow, and I'm mixing those together. Okay, that's a nice color that I like. I'll put that down. Yes, what's up?
Bother you. I'm trying to get as much green in there. Oh,
Okay, try that now.
Is this the color you want?
Add a little bit more green to it.
Keep adding green. Is that the green you did for me? Oh, that's better.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yep. Okay, so now what we are going to do is with that same brush, I'm using the same brush. You guys can like drop down to your smaller number 2 brush if you're more comfortable with it. But with that same brush, I am wetting. So I'm wetting my brush, and then I'm going to scrape off the side of the cup any excess water that comes out of there. I'm not wiping it on my my washcloth, but I'm just scraping it off the side. And then I'm going to pick up some of that color. So I'm putting just the tip of my brush in that color. And then I'm going to start putting it down. And I'm putting it down. And instead of grabbing more color when the color runs out of my brush, I'm going to lightly dip my paintbrush back in the water and then just spread the paint that is already down there around. So watercolor painting is a very transparent medium, which means that layers will be able to be seen through additional layers. All right, so that's nice and light, but I'm not completely done, so I'm actually going to pick up a little more paint for the bottom. Since it's a transparent medium, what's happening here? Okay, so since it's a transparent medium, I want to work light to dark when it comes to watercolor painting. I know with oils, you tend to work dark to light. I'm not sure what the rule of thumb is for acrylics, but with watercolor, we work light to dark, because if you make something really dark and you don't like it, you only have so much you can do to lift that off of the paper. Does that make sense? Okay. And we are going to do a whole painting, probably next class, of lifting, which is one of the techniques you can use to repair your painting. Last semester was fireflies. I think this semester I'm like thinking, I'm still working it out in my head, but it's going to be something with like rays of light. Like we're going to add light down and then lift off like rays of the light to make it really pretty. But yeah, that's for a future class. And then I have to add it. And then, okay, so I'm going to switch to my number 2 brush. There you go. So I'm also going to add it to that front layer as well.
I made lines.
Nice. Perfect. Beautiful. Ugh, I love it. Nice, Terry. Nice. Looks great. Nicely done, guys. Amazing. No, yeah, we're gonna make the green nicer. So if you want it to be lighter, what you can do, can I see this? Do you mind if I touch your painting? Okay, so I just have free liberty the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Man, I can't get over how awesome this lip shade is on you. So if I just take water and I just move it around,
Right.
see how all of a sudden, like it's less opaque, so it's less ugly?
Julie, you said my painting was ugly.
You're the one who said that you hated the color was ugly.
And green is one of my favorite colors, but not this one.
So do you like this one better?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I would do. See,
but I wasn't going for this. I was going for a darker green.
We're going to layer on the green.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is only the layer 1.
Oh, layer 1.
Yep. So it also has to come down here too. So see how much nicer?
Yeah, it's nicer. Yeah,
and
100%.
And you just need to move it around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Did that help?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. You'd think, right? I am actually going back to school for art education specifically, but then art therapy. Yeah. It is a little dark. So what you can do is, can I touch your painting?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you tell her with more water.
Yeah. So if you just take water and you just go over and kind of lift it off, and then you can like just scrape that off, the color that you don't want.
Okay.
And then you can continue to do that. Be patient with it. It might take a few times to do it, but see how it's coming off a little bit?
Yeah.
Yep. So just with water, all right?
Okay.
Yep. Beautiful. You just need to add a little bit here. The same green. So see, right in this little one. Yeah. Yeah, gorgeous.
I'm not touching it anymore.
Perfect. Amazing. Nicely done, guys. Beautiful, Emily. Yes.
Do you have any more of these? This one has like something coming out and I can put that in the wall.
Yes, I can see what I got. I don't, but you can definitely just use this one instead.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Nice. So we have that. And since we didn't work very wet, how dry is it already? Is it soaked? 3/4 dry? Okay, perfect. So let's mix the darker color that's going over top. So this one is going to be that same sap green, and then we're going to use our ultramarine blue, which is the dark blue that you guys have. It looks black, it's a blue. And if you guys aren't sure, I gave everyone these test strips. So everyone has these little scraps. If you're unsure about the color, just dip your paint in there and then put it down and see what color it is. If it's a little bit dirty, like if it comes out like a green or like a brown, you're gonna have to clean it a bit. So then you can just take your paintbrush and kind of do one of these and just clean off the top layer. Yes, we will. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm picking up the green again. And then I'm going to pick up some of that ultramarine blue, the dark blue, and we're gonna put it together until there's like a really nice contrast between these two greens. Yes, the dark blue. So this is the nice, it's like kind of like a nice emerald color. This is what I'm going for. And can you guys see the difference between these two colors on my palette? Okay, so that's what we're going for. Even if your color's not the same as my color, it should have that contrast, right? Between the two on your paint for your personal colors. Perfect. So then I'm working again with my small brush. I'm picking up that color. I'm going to put it back here in the back behind all the other ones. And then as it comes forward, remember that you take your time. I'm moving quickly so that you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm going to like create these lines that kind of go to the front of that watermelon. If it's bleeding a little bit, that's fine. It just can't just make sure it's not wet enough where the whole thing just bleeds. There you go. Okay. So you don't have to follow me step by step. I'm just going to color the whole thing so that you guys can see what the final result looks like. And feel free as well to just pick up some water and really spread around that color. And feel free to also mess up those lines. We don't want them to be absolutely perfect, right? No watermelon is absolutely perfect with its lines. Lucky you. Iris here growing some prized watermelons. We have to do that to the front little one too. Nice. Yes. Yes, that looks great.
Thank you.
Incredible. Amazing. Yeah, you just need to bring this one up so that like this connects it. Nice, guys. Nice. Okay. Amazing. So see how these like kind of disappear and that makes it look a little weird. So bring up this dark color and have it come up to like this right around there. Yeah, yeah. And that might help you it look a little like make sure you look wet though. So like wet your brush and make it like really mess it up. Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't have to be exact.
It does not have to be exact. No. So see how my lines like these are all like kind of messed up and see how they disappear into the shadow part. So instead of them wrapping around the watermelon and just kind of looking like they're disappearing, I've added this shadow around the whole top, right? That the lines disappear into, that connects down to the side. Does that make sense? Okay. And really make sure that your lines are not uniform. We don't want our lines to be uniform. Nice. This looks really good. Nice, guys. Ooh, yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I'm having line issues.
You're having line issues?
They seem to go in every direction.
So if you think about it, this is going to be like your center, like right here. So they're all going to come out from that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I like this. No, you don't like it?
No.
I would just make this a little bit darker up here, and then it has to be dark in here as well. Does that make sense?
Oh.
So I would bring up this shadow color all the way up to about right here. So all of this would be that shadow color.
Right.
And then this line has to just come in like that. And then you're good. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Yes.
I'm having a hard time like getting that textured look that you said, like that messy kind of look.
Do you want me to touch it and show you a demonstration?
Please.
Okay. So is this your color?
Yeah, it's kind of wet. But
that's okay. Yeah, we're going to go in one shade darker in behind the watermelons. So I'm kind of just see how wet I'm working.
Oh, okay, okay,
and see how.
okay.
And I'm like kind of just.
Okay. So
Did that help?
yeah.
And then if I clean my brush and I come in, see how that all of a sudden creates like a really nice
yes.
gradient effect?
Yes.
Yes.
And then, okay, so here I had like my dyslexic moment.
Yep.
So how do okay, I guess.
Well, since it's watermelons, they don't have to be perfect.
That's true too.
So you can just kind of do this, and then that could just be an extra line.
Okay.
So then you come up here and then come up here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, please don't compare yourself to 20 years of experience. It is an 8. Compare yourself to the painting that you completed last week. That is last week's painting is your benchmark. All right. Compare yourself to last week's painting. And keep those paintings so that at the end of these 8 weeks, you have something very definitive to compare yourself to. At least take a picture of it. As well as if you keep coming back each semester, we do similar paintings that you can compare to. So like there's always a mushroom and there's always a set of balloons that we do each semester. And it's something very, very definitive that you can like clearly compare to. So like each painting is different, but there are a few that are similar in theme. And I do that so that you guys have like direct comparison. And it's not like it's every other. So if you come to this one and we do balloons, the next one we'll probably do mushrooms. And then the one after that we'll do balloons and then mushrooms again. Does that make sense? So it's over a long period of time. A longitudinal study, if you will. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to even darken this shadow even more. All right, so we want this to be real punchy, really dark. Don't be afraid of how dark it goes. And we're just going to take that. And then once it's wet, once you've wet that area, you can pick up more color with your brush and you can just drop some color. And because it's wet, it'll just flow into that area. And this is how you get really, really saturated layers. All right. So because this is wet, I can just drop in more color and it'll just fill it in itself. Does that make sense? Okay, so then I want to make certain areas a little bit darker than others, just for some fun. Don't be afraid to get messy. Don't be afraid that it's not perfect, because they're watermelons. They're supposed to be imperfect. I'm just looking for real dark. Okay, we're probably gonna go in with a fourth. Green and ultramarine blue, the dark blue. Yeah, I'm probably going to add, like, we're probably going to go in and add in a little bit of like dark blue to here just to make it like even darker. But yeah, that's what I'm happy with right now. I'm also going to add it near the base right here. Nice, yes. Nice and dark. Beautiful. Ooh, Natalie, this looks awesome.
Thank you.
This looks very nice. I love the texture of your watermelon. Nice, guys. Some nice textures you got here. Okay, so see how this is like a really sharp line, the shadow? What?
She's shocked that you said that.
See how this is like a really sharp line right here?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want it?
You mean?
Yes. Do you want it to be more gradual?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this brush and take it out. And then with a clean, kind of damp brush, I'm just going to drag it. And see how that creates a little bit of like a gradient. What do you think? Does that look a little nicer?
Yeah.
So you can do that to the lines too if you don't like how like uniform the lines are.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to mess them up too, that's all I'm doing is I have wet, my brush is wet and damp, and I'm just with water pushing around my color. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that help? So now that this is wet too, you can add more of that color. So watch what happens. Now that I've loaded up my brush with color and I just drop it in there. Ooh, I need more water. And I just like drop it in there and see how it flows to the front. And it's more of like a gradual thing. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Does that help?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did that help you too?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You can do the same thing if you want, if you don't like how uniform it is.
Okay.
But if you like it, what do you think of it?
I think I'm gonna
Lighten it up?
yeah,
Okay.
with blood.
Yeah, go ahead. See, that looks much nicer now. I would also bring up this darkness, kind of like fill in this area too. Yes,
This looks like a real watermelon.
it does. It looks good.
Yeah, I like it because you'll never see the pattern.
Oh, Iris, that's beautiful. I love the texture. No, leave it be. Let it be. Nice, guys. What are we thinking? How do we feel? Ooh, Audrey, that is gorgeous.
Really? Thank
Yes.
you.
I love the texture of it.
Oh, okay, then I'll leave well enough alone.
Yeah, you could add some darkness into these ones too, though.
Okay,
I really like the darkness. Yeah. Just when you add those lines, take some water after and fuck them up a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You don't mind the swearing?
Oh God, no.
Do you? Okay, cool. Just making sure. How do you? What don't you like about it?
I don't know. The lines look like
Too uniform?
yeah, like where the color.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can help you out with that. So we're gonna take our little small brush, right? And just with water, we're just gonna fuck them up a little bit. See how I'm just blurring up the lines?
Yeah.
So that it doesn't have that hard edge. The hard edge is what I think is throwing you off, right?
Yeah.
So now that I mussed it up a bit just with water, what do you think of that? Is that nicer?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think you could do that on your own? Okay, perfect.
Like just a line and then just
Perfect. Yep. I'm just screwing it up a bit. How do you like it, Emily? Meh? What don't you like about it?
Didn't realize all the lines.
Do you want me to help you fix it up? Yeah, I definitely can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lot of this green, right? This is why this is the darker green. I'm going to grab more of that blue actually. This is why we work light to dark, so that you can fix mistakes that you've created. So what you can do is just kind of come here, because it's a watermelon, right? So it's allowed to have lines covering up each other. And you're just gonna mess this up a bit. So then just with water, just gonna push that around a bit. See how much I'm like messing it all around? With water, just pulling it around. What do you think?
Better.
Better? Okay.
Or it looks like a head. It looks a bit like horse. Is the rest okay?
Yeah, the rest is definitely okay. Do you like it? Okay. I'll take okay. Beautiful. Ooh, I really like this. Okay, what don't you like about it?
I don't know. I don't know.
It looks less like a watermelon and more like
As a kiwi.
yeah, or like a kiwi kind of thing. Yeah, it's a little uniform. Okay. Do you want to make it look more watermelonish? Now you're happy with it? Okay, perfect. I made the mistake of wearing lipstick and now all I smell is my lipstick. Yeah, I like that too. It looks good. What don't you like about it?
Sorry?
What don't you like about it?
Maybe this?
Okay.
I didn't do the like it doesn't look like a slice, like a
Okay, so the only thing that I would do to make it look more slicey is I would bring it out, maybe give it more of a flatter edge.
okay.
And honestly, that's it. See how like now that it's like more of a flat edge,
Oh, okay.
it kind of looks like it comes to a point, it looks like it's like coming up now.
Oh,
Does that
that's
make
right.
sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it though. Nicely done. Oh, I like this a lot. Nicely done. You don't like it? It's okay. What don't you like about it? Okay. There you go. You're happy with it? I love that. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful texture. I really like the texture on yours. You could even go, if you wanted to mess it up a little bit, you could go in with just a damp brush and like kind of like blur the edges a bit. Yeah, you're good? Okay. Okay, no problem. What do you think of it?
I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it? It's a little uniform, but if you're happy with that, leave it. Cool. Okay. So for me, what is kind of messing this up is the hard edges that you have. That's what's really messing it up. So can I touch your painting?
Yes,
Okay.
course, please.
Can I use it? So what I would do is I would go around and just kind of screw up these edges a little bit. Because you have a lot of really good potential here. It's just the hard edges, especially in the shadow area, is throwing me.
Okay.
So see how it does not have to be defined at all, because it's only
problems with hard edges. I find when I paint at home too, in my habit now, I'm following my mom's tradition of greeting cards, birthdays, I make the cards for everyone. And I find that's mainly the problem, is the hard edge.
Yep. And lifting and softening those edges is a technique unto itself that it took me a long time to learn how to do as well.
Okay.
Does that look nicer to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Would this profit if I soften that here? Or
It
it's not
could.
Yeah.
I would soften this, but I really like this texture right here. I really like that texture. Okay. So our next step is now we get to move on to the nice bright red, we can start creating some of that beautiful contrast within our painting. Okay, yes. So how we're going to mix this beautiful watermelon red color is we are mixing up our two colors. We're mixing up our alizarin crimson and our cadmium red. Okay, until we get like a really nice pin-up red, like pin-up lip style lipstick red. Alizarin crimson, which is that pinkish red you have, and the cadmium red, which is the orangish red you have, orangish. You do, yes, yeah.
What is it?
This is your alizarin crimson.
Oh.
This is your cadmium red.
Oh, okay. It comes out too pinky.
Try this one.
What's the crispy?
Alizarin crimson. This is yours. Just add some of your red, you'll be fine. Yep. We are mixing together the alizarin crimson with the orange. Yes, to get like a really nice, like we all know what pinup red lipstick looks like. Yep, the really deep color. So I got my alizarin crimson, which is like a nice pink color. And then I got my cadmium red, which is that nice orange color, mixing them together. And it creates like a really beautifully vibrant, rich red. I went a little too orange. Now I'm coming back with adding a little bit more alizarin crimson because it went a little too orange for my liking. Here we go. This is a nice color that I like. Okay, so how I'm going to add this on. Let me see. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to put it by the edge first of where that watermelon rind is. I'm going to come up, go over the rind again, and then mess it up a bit around this line because it's like some chunks have been taken out of this one. And then we're going to lift that back up. All right, so I created that line, and then with my brush, I'm going to pull with a wet small brush. I'm just going to pull that color through the rest of my painting to make it less uniform. Okay, so again, I added in that color to the very edge, and then instead of adding more color, I'm just going to take my paintbrush and with some water and spread it around to the rest of my painting. You need that red color? Yeah, that's a nice color. Yeah.
I'm lost where I'm going now.
Yep, and then we're going around here, and then that's it.
All right.
Okay, so I went here, around the edge of here, and then I added it, like I defined the front and the back of these two, and then I also did it up this side too. Make sense? Okay, so I did it around here, right? So like there's still the white of the rind right here. We still have the white of the rind. I'm defining the white of that rind by adding the color of the watermelon. Same here, defining that white of the rind by adding the watermelon pink color. And then up here, I am defining this back watermelon by this front watermelon. So this white that I haven't colored yet, all of this hard edging is the front of this watermelon. Does that make more sense? And so then instead of adding more color, I'm pulling it up and around with my paintbrush, with my water. And that's going to help keep it really white. Did that make sense to you? Okay. So then again, I'm gonna pull it around with just some water. Since it's dried already, I have to work a little bit to lift off some of that paint out of the water or out of the paper. So I have to work a little bit to get rid of those hard edges. I'm going to even drop some more color there because it's just not working out in my favor. So I'm spreading it around. And now my watermelon, like that whole red area is now a little bit wet. So now I can go in and drop some of that paint, the red again, into it. Is it making sense what I'm doing? I'm going to be walking around in a few to help you guys out too. So I'm working really hard to make sure that near the base, it's a lot more red than near the top. That's what my goal is that the top is lighter than the base is. Does that make sense? Okay. Nice, Iris. Yep, that looks great. Good job. Beautiful. You can even go in darker if you really want it to be punchy. Beautiful. Yes, exactly. Add a little bit more water onto your brush. Yeah, you're gonna have to add a little more water to your brush too. See how that moves around a lot nicer when you add more water? So if it ever starts getting really streaky, it's a really good indication that you need more water on your brush. Amazing. Nice, guys.
So now with the dark, we're dropping it in?
If it's wet. Okay. Only if it's wet.
And if it's not wet, we're
yeah, but you can wet it if you want. Like you can do a wet on wet technique for this rind.
Okay.
Yeah. I love the texture you have going on in there. Yeah. Don't be afraid to go really wet around the edges. And if you can just like drop water there. Like you can just drop your paint there. Sorry, not water, paint. Nice. Yes. Okay. So wet your brush a little more and your paint will move around a lot nicer. Yes.
I covered the white. How do I get rid of that? Sorry.
So we're gonna lift that out.
I know that, but I'm afraid.
Okay, no worries. So we're going to take that.
I shouldn't have made a yellow watermelon. I know I'd make a mess. Oh, look at this. Gosh, she did that. So that's pretty good, huh?
Hold on. There you go.
Oh, look at that. I screwed up. Thank you, dear.
How did you screw up?
No, doesn't look like one.
Is it because it's too orange?
I don't know.
So if I just, ooh, no worries, no worries.
It's gone bad, my water.
Okay, so if I just So I'm just gonna lift up a little bit of it, right? So I'm just lifting it up. Okay, and now we want to mix these two colors together.
Which two?
This and this. So this is the color you've been using. We want to mix that together until we get like a really nice red color, like a nice watermelon red color. There you go. What do you think? You like? Yeah. Okay. So then we're gonna put that over top. What do you think? Does that look a little more watermelony now? No, you don't think so? You're yeah, you just have to lift up around the edges. Yeah, that's it. Nice, guys. Yeah, nicely done. Really nicely done. Yeah. Not yet. I like it. I would leave it. Yeah, I would leave it just as is. Okay.
This because I went over where should be the white part.
Oh, we're just going to lift that out. So
Anyway.
what? Okay. I'm so confused here. So I'm just going to lift. Yeah, that's okay. We're just gonna lift that out.
Yeah. So I can add a little bit more maybe.
No, we want to leave it. Okay.
That's what she said. Yay. I got my watermelon back.
What do you think? Better? Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I want to bring our attention to this area. You see how that is lighter than the rest? So that is why we went really dark over here. And then we're going to do the same thing here, where we're going to make this edge dark and we're going to pull up and we're going to leave this lighter. It's still going to be pink, but it's going to be lighter. Does that make sense? Okay. And then this is going to create that, like, it looks like somebody bit into it. So again, I'm picking up a lot of that color really deep. Oh, I'll leave it this way. And I'm just going to put it near the edge. Clean off my brush and spread that around. I'm going to clean my brush again and spread that around some more. Clean my brush again, spreading it around some more. Cleaning my brush again, spreading it around some more with just water. Oh, sorry guys. How do we feel about it? Now, are we happy with the depth of this, or do we want to make this even more like shady and dark? Because we could mix like a magenta color and we could add it here and at the very base, and it would really add in some depth. Do we want to try doing that, or are we happy with the way it is? You like yours? Okay, so we'll keep it as is. Okay, perfect.
It's like too
Uniform?
too uniform, too clean.
Okay,
I mean, it's not dark enough here, but
can I help you out?
yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wet it, pick it up, and then I'm just gonna go in and like,
Okay, that's sad. I'm doing the opposite.
yeah, don't be afraid of like really going in dark, because the darkness is what's going to define that lighter area, right?
Okay.
What do you think? Does that look nicer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So we still want this bitten area to be a little bit pink.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, you're good. You just need to clean your brush and basically like just wet it a little bit. Terry, this is gorgeous. I really like this. No, because it's not going to stay perfectly white. What do you think of it?
I like it.
Nice. That's all that counts. Oh, Iris, gorgeous. Nice, guys.
I find it too white.
You can add more red. Absolutely. You've lost a little bit of definition. That's okay. We can fix that. Do you want to bring that back?
Yes.
Yes?
I want to throw this thing out there, yeah.
Okay, so how we're going to do that is we're going to do what we call a lifting technique. We haven't done that yet. I haven't exactly taught that yet. So I've cleaned my brush, and then I'm just going to dab it off, and then I'm going to go in and just lift off some of this color. There we go. Now it's starting to come. What do you think?
It's very much better.
Okay. So this is called lifting. This is why we work light to dark, because there's only so much lifting you can do. Okay, what do you think of that?
Thank you.
You like it better?
Yes.
Okay. Less want to throw it out?
Well, better like this.
Yeah. Yeah. You could even go darker, even here and
Yeah.
here and right there. Yeah, I would mix like almost mix these two again to make like even a darker color. Beautiful, Emily. I love it. Ooh, nice. Yes, this part looks great.
I went over this by mistake where it should be lighter.
Okay, So we can lift that out. We haven't touched a lifting technique yet. So I'll show you how to do a lifting technique. We are going to do a painting, I think next week, of specifically lifting. So this is why you work light to dark, because there's only so much of this you can do. But you basically go over it with a wet brush and then just keep on picking up that color. But there's only so much of this you can do.
Right.
So that's why we work very light to dark.
Okay. Nice.
So I've essentially used the water
Yeah.
to push up the paint from the paper.
Yeah.
And then by emptying this brush, it's going to have a sponge effect where you like, you pick it up.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
The green, that's too late, eh?
What green?
There's not enough white here.
Okay, you want more white there?
Yeah.
So we're gonna do like a lifting technique again. So just with a wet brush, I'm just gonna go in. Do this. Don't worry, don't worry. And then with this guy, I'm just gonna go in and pick it up.
Okay.
Someone's wearing a really nice perfume around here. Yeah, it's very nice. Nice. That's okay. We want it to. Yeah, it looks nice. How do you like it, Marlene? Okay, that's fair. Nice. You can even go darker right here with this back watermelon and it'll make this one pop off. Yeah, same with you if you wanted to. You can make this darker and then this will like jump out in contrast.
I like it.
Then leave it be.
I was happy with that.
What are you not sure about?
The whole thing.
The whole thing? Well, unless you give me something specific to work with, I can't help you. Nice. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, it did. Yeah, how do you like yours, Mona?
I made a few mistakes up here. I wasn't supposed to have a white.
Okay.
I can always touch it up with white.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also like lift. You have like a really clean look right now. So like if and like if you wanted to add a little more mussiness to it and mess it up a bit, you can always like lift around here and like around here and yeah, just like lift off. Do you want a demonstration?
Yes.
Okay. So what you could do is you can always like lift this area a little bit. Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and see how it looks a little. See how it looks a little more like.
Yeah. And are we going to be adding the darker on the bottom?
Yeah, that's what you can do. So you can mix together. A lot of people don't want to do that, but you can mix together like a magenta purple with this color and this color.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And then you can add it to the base, and that'll create like a really big pop. Okay. Yep. So we have a little bit more to do. We have a little bit more to do. So let's take some of that yellow, a very, very small amount. So like with my paintbrush, I'm only dipping in like the very tip of that paintbrush. Right? And then I'm going to go in and just slightly color, that's even more dark, slightly color that, the yellow green. Yeah. So the first green that we did. It doesn't really matter so long as it just needs to be super, super light. Yeah, because watermelon rinds are never like white, like perfectly white. They're always a little bit yellow. So pulling that through, you can even go so far if you want to as add like a hint of pink in it. And then we can take that same yellowish green and add in like a very thin line, right? And then over here too. So then the last things what we're going to do is we're going to do the seeds and we're going to do this front bleedy part. So again, I added in like a little thin line of green right here and right here. Did that just make your watermelons pop? Nice. We're gonna make like a really dark purple. Yeah, like a blue purple. Yep, it is an ultramarine blue with a red and then maybe like a hint of the brown. Let me know when we're ready to move on to the seeds. Yeah? Ready for seeds? Okay. Sorry? It should be, yeah. Okay, so instead of the seeds, because not everyone's is dry, let's do this front part first. Okay? So everyone needs clean water for this. If you don't have clean water, now's the time to go dump one of your water cups and get some clean water. I put a lot of my paintings on the inside of my cupboards so that when I open up, I have something nice to look at. Yeah, on the inside wall, because yep. I also have like my ADHD also gives me issues with object permanence. So like my fridge is set up so that the drawers on the bottom they just have like condiments in it, because if I put fruits and vegetables in there, that's where they go to die, because once they're in there, they no longer exist. So a lot of times my cupboards are open so that I know where everything is. So like at least like then if the yeah, you have something nice to look at. Yeah. Nice. Amazing. I have a drawer like with this thick of just paintings we have created. I'm gonna have to bring it in again and have you guys choose, like, just take some of them home because it's getting a little out of hand again. Actually, Christmas is coming up, so I'll probably turn them into cards. Yeah, I end up like I just flip them over and write messages on the back and then give people paintings, and then if they want to frame them, they can, and it has a secret message on the back. There you go. Yeah, I mean, like, cards are like $7 each now, which is ridiculous. And these are close to 5x7s, so you can like cut them down without like destroying a lot of the painting, and then just like shove them into a 5x7 envelope size. I specifically went for these to be like close to a 5x7. You can, yeah. You can also get an actual card and just glue it to the front. Also, then it really looks like you guys put like so much time and attention into somebody's specific card when really it was something like you were going to create anyways. Also, if you really hate your painting, I'm just going to say it. Watercolor paper makes really good fire starter. Okay. So if everybody has clean water, what we and how much of this color we're gonna need, let's actually darken this color first. Okay, so the color we had, if you don't have any more, we're gonna have to mix more. So the two of these colors together again, if you don't have enough, we're gonna have to mix more. Yep, so now it's going to be the same mix, that red, the cadmium red with the cadmium orange. You can just use whatever's existing there. If you need more, mix more. So I'll probably mix more just to show you guys. So again, we are using alizarin crimson, which is the pinkish red, along with cadmium red, which is the orange red. And we're mixing it together until we get like a really nice color that we like. And then to get this dark color, oh, I dripped. I like it. Because we don't want it the same color, we want to make it a little bit darker. Let's add some of that ultramarine blue. Hey. We're going to add some of that ultramarine blue, the dark blue, okay? And because blue goes far, blue goes very far, it will overpower your reds. Add a little bit at a time until you get like a slightly darker red. All right? So I only needed one go. I'm happy with this. So if it comes purple, add more of the red. And now I have more of like a deeper shade of lipstick that I wear. If it's really dark, then we're gonna add more red. Okay, because again, blue is real powerful. It will, like a small amount goes a long way. So if it goes too dark, add more red. Awesome. I'd love a way to like display some of these too. That would be cool. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, sure. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So what we can do, if you guys really want to like if you want to show off, it's your choice. We can take it and like put it underneath the TV, and then like the next week you can take that one home, and then the one that you're finishing we can like replace it with, and then every other week you take one home. No worries at all.
What are we doing with this now?
You're getting close. You're getting close. Hold on, Iris. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay. You're getting close.
Yeah.
There you go. You just needed one more. You're one away. Everyone's is gonna be a little bit different. Okay, so now we are doing a wet on wet technique, which means that we are going to wet wherever you want this paint to flow. Okay, in that color. So wet with water. First, you're going to paint with water this shape that you want, and then we're going to add in our paint. And when you add in the paint, we're going to do it in a dropping motion instead of a brushing motion. And we're going to drop it where it's the darkest and where it's the darkest, and you're going to allow it to bleed out. And now, because they're not taped down, if you need to encourage the paint to move a bit, you can just tilt it and it'll flow. Correct. Yes. So first we're going to wet this shape right here, all this shape with water. Think of water as the primer. Where you want your paint to go, that's where you're going to be wetting it. Make sense? Anybody have any questions? Anybody lost? Okay. Yes, the two reds and a dark blue. So it's more the color of your sweater, Emily. Behind you. The color of your sweater is kind of what we're going for. Okay, does everybody make sense, or show of hands who doesn't get it? Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm taking my clean water and I'm going to wet everywhere that I want my paint to flow. And my process is I always kind of outline first the objects that I want to avoid. So I'm going to go along the edge. Okay, now that I have that established, I'm going to bring that down. And it's going to come to about right here. Yep, I'm wetting it with water first. Okay, and now with a wet brush, I'm picking up that color and I'm dropping it right next to where it's darkest, okay? So right next to my actual watermelons. If there's a white gap, I'm going around and closing that white gap very, very gently. Okay, and now what you can do, now that you have the color there, right? So I want everyone to look at the screen. So now that I have that color there, look what happens if I just lean it. So by just turning it around, I can kind of play with it. And then if you want, you can also go in with just the pure cadmium red and add in like a little bit of a different color if you wanted to, and with the cadmium orange too, and it'll mix together as well. Yep, give me a second. I just need to pick up some of this water. It's a little too wet. There you go. Okay. Nice. Nice and done. Beautiful. Yeah, yeah. If you wanted, I was going to say, if you want to add a little bit of texture to it, go in darker only in certain areas. Only in certain areas. And pick up more paint than water on your brush. How do you feel about the shape? Meh? Do you want to fix it? Do you help? Okay. Oh, we just need to add more color to it. Add more of that color to it. Okay. So what do you think of that shape? Yeah, you like it better? Okay. I like the texture you have going on here. This is very cool. How does that look? You just need to be wetter. So yeah, put water on your brush. Nice. This is a great shape. Ooh, lovely. I love the shape. Lift it up on the edge. Yeah. Yeah, lift it up on the edge. That's how I got the edges lighter, was I lifted it up at the edge. Where? Okay. So what you can do is take this out. And just you have to lift it up. Yeah. What do you think? Perfect. Nice. It is different. Do you like it? Okay. Do you want it's a little weird. It looks like it's just kind of floating in space. Do you like that? No? Okay. So what you can do. Can I touch your paint? What you can do is go around. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Yeah. Okay. So you just go around it. And then fill the rest of this in if you feel like it. That'll look like it's less floating in space. Oh, I really like the texture you have here. Beautiful, Emily. I love this. Nice. Yeah, they did that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. My shirt. I'm like obsessed with mushrooms. I love mushrooms so much. I don't like eating mushrooms, but I love the I don't. But I love the function of mushrooms. You know? I love mushrooms. It's my special interest, for sure. Oh, Martin, I really like the shape. Yeah, I really like that much. Nice. That's super fun. I love how it's like a splatter. Yeah, very. Yeah, I really like it. Place your painting is half dry. What you can do, and you want to add like some really good texture to it, what you can do is pick up more of that color and just drop it in there. If you want to add texture, if you like the way that your painting looks, don't touch it. But if you want to add texture, then this is an option for you. Okay, so let's mix the color for the seeds. What you can also do is just drop a little bit of water and it'll start pushing around some of this color as well. Don't be afraid to play if you want to play. I love the confidence you had in me. Okay, so anyways, I can get lost in playing with this forever. Okay, so let's mix the color of the seeds. So we can take this color right here that we've already mixed, right? So long as it's like kind of purpley, let's add more blue to it. Yep. Yeah, the more of the alizarin, or sorry, the ultramarine blue, that dark blue. So now we have a dark purple. You can use that, or you can go in and grab some of that dark brown and add that in as well. So the red that we created for this, we're going to just add more blue until it turns into a really nice dark purple. And then we're gonna add in some brown just to like warm up that blue a bit. And then this is the color I have. I have kind of like a grayish purple. Yeah, so the same color that we used before for the brown, add more blue until it turns into a purple, and then add more brown until it turns into a grayish purple. It's nostalgic. I like seed watermelon. Oh yeah, the painting needs it. I just meant for my own personal. Like when I buy a watermelon, I like to buy seed watermelon. Nice. Okay, so then we're gonna pick that up with our small brush, and we're going to start adding them in. The seeds are like teardrops. The same color that we did this bottom, and then we add more blue until it turns into a purple, and then we add brown until it turns into a grayish purple. So then we're going to just add seeds, and feel free to, so some of the seeds, to make it look like it's farther into the watermelon, you can add your seed down, and then with a paper towel, pick it up. And it creates more, like, so not all of them, but some of them, let's do that, so that it creates more of like depth, so that some of those seeds look like they're coming through like several layers. Yeah, if you want to add an extra layer, you can add in that same purple and just kind of like spread it around. Yep, that same dark sea color and kind of just lightly spread it around to add in like a little bit of like shading if you want. Totally optional. Okay, if you guys want to leave your paintings to put them on display, just leave your write your name on the back and then leave your paintings on your table. And then and then you can bring them home next week. But don't forget to write your names on the back. Or the front, yeah. I like my picture if that counts for anything. Nice. Looks great. Really beautiful, Terry. With what? The seeds?
Yeah.
No, the seeds make it look good. Yeah, your seeds look great.